College season is finally back, so it's time to get my life back together. Today I'm sharing my back to school prep and how I organized for the new semester. Let's go. Today I'm going to be focusing on organizing my schedule, setting new goals, and preparing for the new and upcoming semester. First thing I do when I wake up is I make my bed. I truly believe in the fact that a clear space equals a clear mind, which is why making my bed I always put as number one top priority as soon as I wake up. Kind of my way of saying, hey, you can't get back into bed because it's made now. Do you really want to mess that up? The second my bed is made, no one can sit on it. I actually will get mad at you. I usually go down and make myself a cup of coffee, which is what I have here. I also just cut up a plate of strawberries so I could multitask when I'm up here. I'm gonna eat breakfast while I move on to step number 2. Planning ahead is one of the biggest tips I could give anyone going into university or college because it really helps minimize the stress leading into the new year. I personally like color coding all of my classes and all of my assignments, so I always know what events are coming up, what assignment due dates are coming up, and it truly helps me avoid last minute stress, and that way I could really enjoy the university experience. So with that being said, I'm going to show you what I use to organize my semester. I use Google Sheets as my assignment tracker, and then I also use Google Calendars. But I've been watching a lot of YouTubers this year, and they've been using Notion. So I'm going to try to navigate that with you guys on time lapse, and I'll let you know which one I prefer. Okay, I'm currently on Notion. I made an account and I'm on my student planner. So I put all of my courses, my 5 courses for this semester. And now I'm just gonna edit my banners to what color I want each class, since I was saying how I color code each of my classes. So far, I'm liking it. It's very easy, very straightforward on how to navigate. You put your course here, your course code here, and then you could put all of your assignments and your final exam dates on here. And then you could also put your quick links here, which I haven't gotten into yet, but you could put your syllabus, weekly lecture slides, and your discussion board links on here. And I just think it's really convenient that you have everything in one spot and you don't have to have like thousands of tabs open here like I do. So far I'm really liking Notion. Before I carry on with Notion, I just wanted to stop and show you what I do off my computer to help organize for the new semester. So I have this notebook here. This is specifically my university schedule notebook. When I was first planning to go to university 2 years ago, which it doesn't even feel that long, but like 2 years is crazy to think about. I wrote down all the universities, the tuition costs, what their majors were, and the ones I obviously was interested in taking. And so this really helped me just map out the pros and cons of which one I wanted to go into. And as you could see, Guelph had the most written down, so I knew this is where I'm gonna go, as you could tell. My fall semester last year, I printed out all of my courses. I'm gonna do this again for this semester because Wi-Fi isn't always available to you, and neither is data. Like, I feel like we take our electronics for granted, that it's like the second the power goes out, it's like, what do we do, you know? So it's always good to have a backup on paper. I also printed out a map of Guelph, and I marked down where all of my classes were for that semester, so I know like visually where I have to go. And then I also just printed out the schedule for last year. I'm gonna quickly glue this down as well as the map I printed out. Finally finished gluing down all of my courses onto my notebook. And with that being said, I wanted to get into Rate My Professor. Rate My Professor is just a website that you could look up on your computer or your phone, and you search up your school name and your professor's name. People leave reviews, like a Yelp review basically, saying whether or not the professor is good, if the material's hard or easy, if they're caring, if they suck. Like, it tells you a rundown of everything about the professor that you need to know going into their class. I'm a firm believer that a professor could truly make or break your mark, because if you have a professor that is caring and cares about the topic itself as well as their students, you're going to do so well in that class because you're going to want to show up, and you're going to do well because you're showing up. You know what I mean? But if you have a professor who does not, then you're not going to do so great. And I'm speaking from experience. Not that I've done bad, but there's a clear line between a good professor and a bad professor, and where your grade lies in between that. So just be wary of that when you are picking out your courses. And I'm not saying you're going to do bad just because you have a bad professor, but your experience definitely will be different. I'm having a bit of a dilemma. Since I searched up all of my professors and I wrote down their ratings on the side here, the one I'm currently waitlisted for in person has a 2.3 rating, and everyone knows about this professor, like everyone. And let's just say it's not for the best reason, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I wanna stay in university. The reviews did not hold back, let me just tell you that. But for the online professor, he has a 4.4 out of 5 rating. Which one do you think I'm gonna choose? All of the reviews were saying that he's such a good teacher and he truly cares about his students and the material that he teaches, and he's very helpful. So, you know, when you weigh out the two, I think I'm gonna choose the online one for that reason, which is why it's so important to check your professors. So, shout out to Rate My Prof. Finally finished color coding all of my classes, and I also put the timestamp of when the class is and what the class is and where the class is, and then I obviously color coded them so I know which one's which visually. And then I also finished up on a Notion for now, once again with all my classes color coded to their assigned color. And now we're going to move on to the next step. One of my favorite sections, it's the supply section. So if you guys haven't already watched my last video, I did a back to school what's in my backpack vlog. So if you haven't already, make sure to go check that out. I do more in depth of what's in my backpack, but I just want to show you my favorite things that help me stay motivated throughout the school year. Having some small items as a part of your school supply section is honestly such a fun way to make studying enjoyable. Fresh notebooks to my favorite pastel highlighters, small things that honestly just help motivate me to stay both organized and productive throughout the semester. One of my other biggest tips, get school supplies that will make you feel motivated and like you want to use them, if that makes sense. I know that sounds really stupid, but I feel like having school supplies that are cute and fun and like make you want to open your book just help a lot. And having like cool pens and highlighters to make your notes look pretty and fancy also really help when taking notes and staying productive and organized. On the topic of organization, we're going to be moving on to the next step, which is room organization. So this is what it's currently looking like. I have a bunch of yarn, a bunch of trading stuff, notebooks all over the place. Don't know what that is. Paper cuttings from when I was organizing. My breakfast is still there. Whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to organize this, and feel free to organize your desk with me. I finally finished cleaning up my desk. This is what the after is looking like. Something as small as tidying up your desk can feel like the biggest chore ever, but the fact that it just took me 5 minutes and I already feel so much better about myself and so much more motivated goes to show how little efforts like cleaning that feel so like, ugh, I don't want to do it, can really help motivate you. So I do recommend always keeping your space tidy, even if you just take 2 minutes out of your day to just clear off your table. And trust me, it really helps, especially when it comes to exam season. Getting my life together isn't just about school supplies, it's also about setting goals, holding yourself accountable, and planning out your days in the future. I personally like breaking up my bigger tasks into smaller steps. That way it feels more achievable, because I feel like if I just look at the big main goal to begin with, it just feels unaccomplishable and very unmotivating. So I do recommend breaking up a big goal into smaller steps to get to that goal. A way I do this is making a vision board, setting goals for the week, setting goals for the day, making a to-do list. I love to-do lists, and if you haven't watched my other videos, I always have this like massive whiteboard, and it's legit just my to-do list for the day. And then on the other side, I have goals for the week that I want to accomplish. That really helps me stay on track and stay motivated and stay productive, because I feel like having a visual in front of you every single day helps you say like, hey, I have to do this before the day ends. And that way you don't forget about it, if that makes sense. And it feels so accomplishing just like scratching it out or putting a check mark beside it. My to-do list always used to be in a little planner book that I had, but I feel like that book would always get thrown away in a pile of other books, and I'd forget about it, or it'd be closed and I just wouldn't think to open it. So by having something visually in front of you, it could be like a paper on your desk or sticky notes. I used to have sticky notes all over my desk. That helps you visually see, hey, there's a lot going on here. I need to remove that and get stuff done. So I definitely recommend having a to-do list with you that you could see at all times. Next up is my favorite section. I feel like it is so important, and as a student, so many people forget about it. So moving on to self-care. College prep isn't just physical, it's mental too, which, like I said, many students forget about. Balanced self-care routine honestly makes all the difference as a student. Self-care can mean many different things to many different people, so I'm going to be showing you my routine, and hopefully you guys could take some things away from it and put it into your routine. Walks help calm me down. There's no better place to self-reflect in peace than in nature itself, which is why I love walking in nature. It's so calming hearing the birds chirping and the wind and the breeze in your face, and there's no one around to bother you. So I definitely highly recommend going for a walk, and it has changed my life. I used to walk all the time with my grandfather after school, and not only did it help me burn calories and lose some weight, actually, it just helped me relax after such a chaotic day at school, because school can be really frustrating sometimes, and especially when I was in high school, it was very overstimulating with like everyone screaming in the hall. It was like a zoo, actually. Walks definitely help. Participating in your favorite sport or activity also helps keep your mind off the day-to-day stresses we all have, which is why I love baton twirling. Once I go to practice, everything else in my life is on pause and on hold, and all I'm thinking about is my sport itself. I definitely recommend, if there are clubs or intramurals at your school, do join them, because it really helps not only meet people, but also gets your mind off school and helps you stay active, which is very important. Baking is another huge stress reliever for me, as well as cooking. You get a bunch of yummy treats out of it, and your family will love you, trust me. The other thing that is so important is winding down for the night. I feel like a lot of people just spend time on their phone right before they go to bed, and I've been trying to avoid that. The less time I spend on my phone right before going to bed, the better I sleep and the better I wake up. Whereas if I'm on my phone right before I sleep, I wake up in such a bad mood. So I definitely recommend having a night routine. So let me show you mine. It is currently 9:30 and I just got back from practice, and I need to take a very much needed everything shower. And by everything shower, I mean shave, exfoliate, hair mask, hair conditioning, like the whole thing. Scrub my body down. I love putting an everything shower in my night routine, especially when I'm feeling stressed or worried. I just need to relax for the night. Even though everything showers take forever and they take every ounce of energy left in my body. Like I literally feel like I'm in war in an everything shower. But I always feel so much better afterwards. And that's my college prep routine. Supplies are finally ready, my space is organized, and my mindset is in check. If you're getting ready for the new semester, I hope this video inspired you to start fresh, and hopefully some of my tips helped you out. And if it did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions leading up to the university or college season. I'm happy to answer any questions, and if you want me to do more university related videos, let me know. See you in the next one.